Good afternoon and welcome. This is Spotlight Africa, and we're coming to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. My name is Uyai Imam. Today on Spotlight Africa, Mauritania Supreme Court confirms conviction of former President Abdel Aziz. Ramaphosa says South Africans trapped in Donbas after joining Russia-Ukraine war. ECOWAS dismisses religious genocide claims in region. Tanzanian deputy opposition leader faces terrorism charges. Plus, Tunisia repatriates thousands of migrants amid Mediterranean migration pressure. These stories are all just ahead of Spotlight Africa. Stay with us. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. First on Spotlight Africa, South Africa's government says it has received distress calls from 17 citizens who have joined mercenary forces in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The men are between the ages of 20 and 39 years and are trapped in Ukraine's war-torn Donbas region. President Cyril Ramaphosa has ordered an investigation into the circumstances that led to the recruitment of these young men into these seemingly mercenary activities. A government spokesman said the statement did not say which side of the conflict the South Africans were fighting for. Working as a mercenary or fighting on behalf of another government is illegal in South Africa unless the government authorizes it. According to the government, the men were lured to join the mercenary forces under the pretext of lucrative contracts. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has dismissed claims of genocide against any religious group in the region, arguing that such labels are aimed at distorting cohesion in the bloc. ECOWAS, in a communique on late Tuesday, said the claims are targeted at worsening insecurity in the West African region. The comments came after President Donald Trump of the United States designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC, over claims of genocide targeted at Christians. He vowed military action if the Nigerian government did not resolve the issue. Away from that, the deputy leader of Tanzania's main opposition party, Chadema, is facing terrorism charges. 2 weeks after his arrest in the capital, Dodoma, his lawyer has said John Heche is now being held in the main city, Dar es Salaam, where he was informed of the charges. His lawyer, Hakim Mwasupi, told reporters it is unclear when he will appear in court. Recall that he was arrested ahead of last week's elections, denounced by the opposition as a sham. President Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn in on Monday after being declared the winner with a 98% of the vote. Meanwhile, Tanzanian authorities faced mounting concern over killings during and after last week's election, with the largest opposition party charging on Tuesday that the security forces were secretly dumping the bodies of hundreds killed in the violence that shocked the region. Protests spread across the East African country in the aftermath of voting on Wednesday, continuing for several days as young people came into the streets of Dar es Salaam, the commercial capital, and elsewhere to protest what they felt was not a free or fair election. Security agencies cracked down on protesters by firing live bullets and tear gas canisters, and a nationwide curfew was declared. Recall that President Samia Suluhu Hassan was declared the winner with more than 78% of the vote, a rare landslide victory in the region, despite the low turnout reported by foreign observers. It was her first election victory. She rose to the presidency automatically as vice president in 2021 after the sudden death of her predecessor, John Magufuli. In a separate development, at least 40 people were killed when a drone hit a funeral gathering near El Obeid in Sudan's North Kordofan state, I beg your pardon. Local authorities blamed the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF for the attack in Al Ulieb village. The RSF has not commented. The strike comes amid escalating fighting across Kordofan and Darfur, where the UN has reported mass killings, famine, and possible war crimes. UN Chief Antonio Guterres warned the crisis in Sudan is spiraling out of control and urged both sides to agree to a ceasefire. Now, according to the UN, since the war began in April 2023, more than 150,000 people have been killed and 12 million people displaced. In Tunisia, there has been a repatriation of around 10,000 irregular migrants this year, mainly from sub-Saharan Africa, as the country faces pressure from the European Union to limit crossings to Europe. Foreign Minister Mohamed Ali Nafti has reported. The migrants were sent home through a voluntary program coordinated with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, with weekly flights organized to assist their return. Nafti emphasized that Tunisia will not serve as a transit route for migrants heading to Europe. In 2024, about 7,200 migrants were repatriated under the same program, and authorities plan to continue the effort until the migration flow is reduced. Thousands of migrants remain stranded in southern towns like Amra and Jabina, living in makeshift camps from being blocked from attempting sea crossings. Tightened maritime security has led to a sharp decline in the number of migrants reaching Europe this year. We move now to Cameroon, where security forces reportedly killed 48 people in a crackdown on protest against the re-election of President Paul Biya. The Cameroonian government has not provided a figure or conducted an investigation into the killings. Reports say the majority of the victims were killed by gunshots, while the others succumbed to injuries from being beaten by security forces. Most of the deaths occurred in the littoral region where the port city of Douala is located. Recall that official results gave President Biya victory with nearly 54% of the vote, while his former ally, Issa Chiroma, who had declared victory on the first day of counting, came second. Away from that, Mauritania's former president, Mohamed Aziz, has lost his final appeal of a 15-year prison sentence for corruption while in office. Abdelaziz was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison in 2023 after being found guilty of amassing assets and capital worth $70 million through illicit means. His lawyers argued that the trial was politically motivated, but a first appeal of his conviction was rejected in May 2025, and his sentence increased by 10 years. After seizing power in a 2008 coup, Abdelaziz was twice elected president and served from 2009 to 2019 when he stepped down. In 2021, he was charged with illicit enrichment, abuse of functions, influence peddling, and laundering alongside 10 other prominent figures, including 2 former prime ministers. King Mohammed VI opens new university hospital complex. Stay tuned for details of this and more after this time out. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. It's still Spotlight Africa. And this afternoon we head straight to Morocco, where a new hospital designed to deliver the latest medical services across the nation has been inaugurated in Rabat by King Mohammed VI and Crown Prince Moulay El Hassan. The Mohammed VI International University Hospital Complex includes the Mohammed VI International University Hospital of Rabat and the Mohammed VI University of Science and Health. The facility will ensure that healthcare workers are trained according to the latest scientific and technical advancement to the highest international standards. The unveiling comes just weeks after massive demonstrations across Morocco, where protesters accused the government of corruption and prioritizing international sporting events over public health care and education. Away from that, State Department official Christopher Londo said he spoke on the phone with Mali's foreign minister to discuss security developments in the country. The call comes in the wake of a U.S. warning against travel to Mali. Last week, Washington ordered non-essential embassy staff and citizens to leave Mali over security risks. A blockade by Islamist insurgents has seen Mali's capital suffer widespread fuel shortages, prompting fears that the junta's control may be slipping. The insurgents have attacked and set fire to fuel tankers on highways leading to Bamako in the last 2 months. Mali is landlocked and most of its fuel shipments come in via Senegal. Army soldiers have resorted to escorting convoys, but the attacks have persisted. A number of at-sea migrant rescue organizations have banded together to form a new fleet, cutting contact with Libyan coast guards. Sea-Watch spokesperson Gyola Mesme said that over a dozen rescue organizations are taking action against what she called crimes against humanity committed by the Coast Guard, among others. Mesmer said the newly formed Justice Fleet has clear goals, including defending human rights and protecting asylum seekers against abuse by state and different groups. Despite repeated calls for human rights experts for Europe to refrain from supporting Libyan forces and stopping migrants from crossing the Mediterranean, European officials remain determined to continue doing just that. Libya plunged into chaos after a NATO-backed uprising toppled and killed longtime leader Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. In the upheaval that followed, the country split, with rival administrations in the east and west backed by rogue militias and foreign governments. And that's all we're able to bring to you at this time as Spotlight Africa, bringing you stories all around the continent. This has been put together by Spectrum Television. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. Spotlight Africa, we are MM. Good afternoon.